say first on the call sheet and an executive producer of the movie as well. I love mi gente Latino.
Rex, Alabama. Co-lead along with Jen, and of course, stunts coordinator.
I think first and foremost, we need to sadly just acknowledge the absence in the room. Obviously, this is now, 20 years later, a film without a director. And that's because, of course, that director is in federal prison. He's basically been secreted by the government. But I do think we need to talk about, I think there's some need to separate the art from the artist today and talk about all of your experiences working with the auteur of this film.
Like I said before, we had no money for the shoot. Initial budget, $80 million. So that $80 million had to go somewhere.
It's a big gap.
Our lead creator, David Madoff.
Relation, right?
They are related.
Yeah.
He was able to procure all these funds, and then on the day it was like, submit a budget to me that does not use any of the money. And I think I don't know.
The conversation, and I do want to, and just to be clear, because it's been 20 years and we're so happy for this reunion, we didn't know shit. We didn't know anything.
I knew everything.
Different levels of knowledge.
Rex, notwithstanding our co-lead and stunt coordinator, Sound of the Squid started first as a screenplay, right?
Yeah.
It was supposed to initially be a deep exploration about a squid as a metaphor for kind of the deep ocean life and the way that reflects internally, and do we ever really get to know ourselves, and can we really see who we are deep down? And then, our director, David, he basically came and said, we have 80 million, how'd you like a $160 million budget? I can get that to you by Thursday. Sign the money over to me. And I
Which is
said,
initially where I came into the project.
At the 160 level.
At the 160 level.
Yeah, and it's worth even just calling out right now, because obviously this is a film with alternate titles. You wrote it as Sound of the Squid, then it was released in most territories as Song of the Squid. I understand that was a legal workaround kind of thing.
it was legal, and
Yeah.
also when Jennifer came on board, it became a musical.
And I mean, the music is almost like, another star of the film, I would say. A co-lead along to
I don't want to, I'm not the musician, I don't want to jump in unfairly, but I just want to say, I still get, what does the squid say? Stuck in my head to this day.
Thank you.
a lot of people humming it on the line out there, around the block.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that is me singing.
Weird thing for you to call out, as if it was a question.
Yeah, and you're right to say that, because it was really hard, because, Rex and I were going through our marriage and divorce throughout.
We have fun.
So yeah, those things do feel important to point out, because it's a part of the story as well.
It is rare. The showmance is a well-established thing in the annals of Hollywood history. I can't think of another case in which co-stars meet at the start of filming, begin a romance, get married, and get divorced all before the film is
Well,
filmed.
it was a long shoot.
It was a long shoot.
It was
a long shoot,
4
yeah.
months.
Yeah, and I think it was, by shoot day 10, I had a ring. And then I think I proposed
Late.
on, what?
Late.
late. I did propose. I'm sorry. I proposed late, but I got around to it, and we got married on the set, underneath the big squid, because that was a real puppet. A lot of people don't know that. The puppet, the big squid, was a real puppet.
We didn't have good, you know,
We didn't
we
have
weren't
seat.
doing that back
Yeah,
then.
it was too expensive.
This was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
2006, they did not have computers. If you wanted a squid, you were talking to Jim Henson, you were talking to somebody, you were getting paper mache,
And
you
it's
were
so
making
wonderful
squid.
that we're in New York, you know, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of this film because we were using the squid from the Natural History Museum.
Who kind of was like another star of the film in a way.
By the way, that's why there's no glass in that exhibit. It's because we busted into that bad boy and got the squid gratis. You know? No money.
Which ended up upping the value of the glassless squid. Now it would be kind of sacrilege for them to place that squid behind glass, now that the audience knows it this way. Just to move backwards a little bit, Chip, because you were starting to talk about the journey of the script, and obviously when the two stars come on board and the budget balloons several times in a row, the story itself started to change. But you were still involved in the script at that point, right?
It's a great question. I had a vision for the script when I started it. My father passed away when I was 7.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And in reading sort of these letters, you know, he had been a combat veteran, and there were a lot of elements of that, but obviously a deep personal exploration of a father-son relationship as it relates to violence and the secrets we keep from ourselves. Ultimately, when Jennifer got attached, everything kind of took off. And
Because she was originally, just my understanding, is the role she was cast in is what started as your father.
It really spoke to me.
Yeah.
Because when my agent sent it to me, I didn't understand who they wanted me to play. And I just connected with this father character because remember, 2006, I think Made in Manhattan had been happening.
4 years old. 4 years old.
So I was looking to, and maybe also enough. Maybe also the film Enough.
I think that was 2001.
Around it. So I was looking to really spread my wings because, and also Selena.
97,
And I
98.
said, what? And I said, what am I not playing right now? Someone's father who's dead.
Now it's interesting that what spoke to you was that the character was a father, because I believe your first note when you attached yourself to the project was "not anymore." Do you want to talk about how you redeveloped that character at all?
No.
Okay.
Because, you know, we can look back, but remember, we're doing this over letters because it's 2006. And I'm maybe releasing an album at that time.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know music as
Waiting
well.
for tonight.
I do want to make sure that we're going to get some questions about the crafty on set.
Absolutely. Well, it's.
I don't remember this person.
You know, I get that a lot. I think, you know, if I can talk a little,
Please.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
We had no money.
Yeah.
And so for craft services, it was a cooler that I was getting creative with. I got, they were like, here's $60 petty cash, go figure it out.
Yeah.
So I was, you know, inspired by the theme, I was doing a lot of calamari dishes. And not getting a lot of feedback on that.
I mean, it's the character's logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was always looking for you know, because when you're coming up, because I was initially a PA that got promoted to craft service and eventually associate producer, and I'm so sorry I took that producer credit from you.
We're going to talk about that. Don't worry.
I'm not bitter.
Great.
I'm not.
Yeah, well, good. I you know, just you gotta find ways to make your splash, and that was one of the ways I tried.
I mean, it's one of, I'd say it's, John Peters moving from Barbra Streisand's hairdresser to being producer and eventually head of studio, is only number 2 to you going from PA intern to craft services to associate producer to eventually president of the United States. It's a wild ascension, and it's wild to think that it starts here on this film.
You just never know. A foot in the door you get, and you guys can sit down, by the way.
No need to salute. This is
we can keep it
informal.